A follow-up segment tonight. Last night on The Factor, we had a lively debate with a lawyer for Human Rights Watch over whether captured al-Qaeda personnel director Abu Zubaydah was tortured. According to an article in the New York Times last Sunday, the FBI and the CIA clashed over how to question Zubaydah, with the CIA winning out. Apparently, Zubaydah was stripped, placed in a freezing room, subjected to blaring music from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, among others. Human Rights Watch believes that is unacceptable. Joining us now from Washington, syndicated radio talk show star Laura Ingraham. All right, putting you in charge of interrogation for the U.S. government. Red Hot Chili Peppers, I know you're a music aficionado. Is this, and they're blaring it. The guy's naked, he's shivering, they're blaring this crazy music. Is that torture?
If you want to torture Zubaydah or any of these high-level targets, Bill, I have one thing to say. Make them watch Tucker Carlson on Dancing with the Stars, okay? That would be torture. But the Red Hot Chili Peppers are actually a pretty good group. I mean, here, in all seriousness, this whole thing is so ridiculous. Suddenly now, Human Rights Watch is going to be the arbiter of what is and what is not torture. In my mind, even using the word torture really has become meaningless, because I think the question is, will the techniques that are used, the tough techniques, the harsh techniques, are they useful? Are we getting useful information? I think, as you pointed out last night, the end of that New York Times article should have been the lead. They buried the lead.
Yeah, they buried the lead.
Yeah, the important point is that we got critical information from Zubaydah about other al-Qaeda targets, including the 9/11 hijackers.
Here's why the debate never ends, but here's why it's desperately important for all of us. You have the guy in the New York Times, and he's an unnamed source. I mean, we don't have a name on this guy, saying, look, we broke Zubaydah, and this is how we broke him. We made it so uncomfortable for him that he didn't want this anymore, and he told us we need to know. Then you open Newsweek magazine, you got Ron Suskind, okay? Now, he's a partisan, doesn't like Bush. You know, he says, hey, that's bull. Zubaydah didn't know anything, and he didn't give him anything.
Now, who cares about Ron Suskind? I mean, I am so uninterested.
I'm trying to tell you is this, the average American sitting at home is not engaged on a daily basis like we are.
Right.
Doesn't know what the truth is. Doesn't know.
Well, I'll tell you one. Yeah,
go ahead,
I'll tell you one thing, Bill. The average American out there loves the show 24. Okay, they love Jack Bauer. They love 24. In my mind, that's as close to a national referendum that it's okay to use tough tactics against high-level al-Qaeda operatives as we're going to get. Okay, the idea that you're going to give, as Ted Koppel said the other night, hoagies and cokes to all the people who are being interrogated, that might work. You might give a lamb kebab to some low-level al-Qaeda person in Gitmo, and that might work.
A lamb
but for
kebab.
Someone like But for someone like Zubaydah, who is very schooled in interrogation techniques, and he knows how to handle these things, he knows how to complain to Human Rights Watch. These guys are very smart. It's probably going to require something else. I'm not an expert in this stuff. I don't know this stuff, but I trust our military interrogators in the CIA more than Ron Suskind or Human Rights Watch.
Here's the damage that's been done. On the Radio Factor today, I played a soundbite from Ted Kennedy, from Jimmy Carter, okay, and from Al Gore. All three of these men have gone all over the place saying, we torture people. We, the United States, torture people. We're torture.
It's reprehensible that they do that. It's reprehensible.
It's picked up by all of the newspapers overseas, in the Arab world. And when it goes to the Arab world, they're not talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers there. They're going, they cut off his feet. And cut out his eyes. That's what's torture over there. So I'm saying is that we've been diminished as a country. We have been diminished by this debate.
Well, you know something? I don't think the president answers to Ted Kennedy and Jimmy Carter, okay? He answers to the American people.
Yeah, but his approval rating's 38%.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but on this issue... He's taking a lot of damage on this. On this issue, Bill, I believe that if this were put up to a national referendum, should we make Khalid Sheikh Mohammed uncomfortable, or should we use kinder, gentler techniques with him? Do you actually think the American public would side with Ted Kennedy?
No.
I'd love to see that referendum. No. I'd love to see it.
But what has worked, and is what has worked very well for the Bush haters, is to portray the United States as the problem in the war on terror.
It's reprehensible. I mean, for them to go out...
They are succeeding in doing that.
Well, and I hope they're happy, because the more that former presidents go overseas or write op-eds or go on television and raise these ominous specters about, you know, the way the U.S. operates in the world, I say to Jimmy Carter this. When you see what the Taliban and what al-Qaeda has done to innocents, to women and children, with no regard for human life, and then you see at Gitmo, as you've reported and Major Garrett has reported, that we give colonoscopies to detainees over the age of 50, I'm thinking, are we insane at this point? Have we gone mad?
Well,
I mean, it's craziness.
There is a drastic confusion, all right, on the part of most Americans, because the media has picked this up and is now banging the drum that not only is Bush incompetent, but we are a bad country. We spy on everybody. We brutalize everybody. And we use the red-hot chili peppers to break people.
No, I think if they played, again, like, you know, some Rosie O'Donnell clips, maybe that would be torture. But come on, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Now, you know, Bill, this, again, it's who thinks, you know, who's out there thinking that we're the biggest threat to world peace, and who's out there thinking the Islamic fascists are the bigger threat? You answer that question, you solve all of this.
All right. Overseas, though, in the poll taken in Europe, we're a bigger threat than Iran right now, according to the poll.
Yeah, and who are they going to call first when they need help? They're going to call us.
They'll call you, Laura. Get over there. I don't want to put you in charge of interrogation, Laura Ingraham, everybody.
That's scary.
Thanks very much.